and Snapchat. Hey guys, another video coming at you today. What I have learned from my weight loss journey, the mistakes that I have made along this way. If you like videos like this with weight loss tips or information that I share about my weight loss experience, give this video a thumbs up. Mistakes are just a thing that we can learn from. A lot of us, especially those of us who are familiar with losing weight and dieting, just being on a roller coaster of weight gain and weight loss, we can all relate to this. Probably at least at one point or another you can relate to some of this. The number one thing for me that I feel like could seriously inhibit my weight loss and has in the past and has really been a stumbling block for me, and this I think has a lot to do with my personality. There are some people probably that this doesn't affect. For me, as someone that was significantly overweight for a long time and not so significantly overweight at other times in my life trying to lose weight, I had an all or nothing attitude. It did not help me in any way to have that. And what I'm talking about by that is I'll start tomorrow. I'm going to go to the grocery store and I am going to stock up my kitchen with entirely healthy food, and I am going to buy the low fat, no fat, calorie free stuff that they're offering, but I can't do it today because it's not grocery day. I can't do it today because I'm going to finish this weekend out by, engorging myself. And don't get me wrong, I have cheat days. I do these things too. I completely have experience with this. You cannot mentally just say like, okay, I screwed up today, forget it, this whole day's out the window. You will sabotage yourself so badly, especially with the deprivation stuff, never eating bad food, and if you do eat a bad food, you feel extremely guilty and terrible about it. What I finally did, I think now in this phase of my life with my weight loss, and it's different for every phase, every level of extra weight that you carry, I think has different challenges and hurdles on how to lose weight and your mental way that you go about thinking about weight loss. So what I relate this to is I am a Christian and I believe that, Jesus is my savior and that I have grace through him. So what that means is I am forgiven. Even when I screw up, I can move on from that. God forgives me and God loves me, and so what I realized was I need to have that attitude toward myself. God forgives me for things and we can move on from that. And so I can forgive myself for things. You guys, I used to go through the drive-thru and get a Whopper combo, ate the entire thing, and I would drive away and I wouldn't feel full yet. Probably because it took me maybe 5 minutes to eat it, maybe. Wouldn't feel full yet, and I had to get that full feeling. I just couldn't not have that full feeling. I'd go back through the drive-thru. I'd get another Whopper Jr. or a medium fry just to make sure that I had that full feeling. And then, of course, by that time, I'm like so engorged and it's just gross. I've been there. If you're a binge eater, I get it. I've been there. I just want to say you cannot beat yourself up too much. You have to put it in the past and try not to do it again. But if you do it again, forgive yourself again and go right back to what you were doing. Mentally cannot beat yourself up. Exercising too much. I'm not a doctor, and obviously you need to talk to your doctor about how much exercise is right for you and what types of exercise and that kind of thing. I'm just gonna simply address the fact that doing cardio to lose weight, and then you're eating those calories that you walked off during the day. I see MyFitnessPal, they add on the calories that you burn in your exercise to your total calories for the day, and I do not use those. If I have a calorie limit for the day, I'm not going to count my exercise, to be able to eat more. The people that have been successful in losing weight with weight loss surgery and non-weight loss surgery, they stick with their calorie count and they go with that for the day and they do not count that exercise toward it. Personally, right now, I am not exercising to lose weight. I'm exercising to grow strong. My diet is completely what I focus my weight loss with. You're riding the stationary bike for like hours and hours at a time during the week. It's just, your body's going to get used to that exercise. You're going to keep having to add more and more time to that. So you want to change things up every week. What my personal exercise plan is right now is focus on strength training. So I'll do like half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on what I do, or if it's leg day and shoulder day, I do an hour, and then I will do 20 minutes of cardio 3 to 4 times per week. That's just what works for me, and I change up what kind of cardio I do, and I do what's called HIIT cardio, and I'll do like 60 seconds of high intensity cardio. I will be on this stationary bike. I'll ramp it up several levels for a minute and then I'll rest for 30 seconds. So that's just what I'm into. If you want to search it, it's HIIT cardio, HIIT. I limit it to 20 minutes a day because otherwise I'm going to go crazy. For one thing, I don't really enjoy cardio, although this type of cardio is way more easy than anything I've ever done personally, because I always can think, okay, I get a rest in a minute, and it's just mentally easier for me, and I've been still having success with weight loss doing it, so I just have been enjoying that. But just do not burn yourself out on cardio, and change up what you do or your body gets used to it. If you don't believe me, just search out videos. Like I watch Heidi Summers is one that I watch. Jen Heward is another one that I watch on YouTube. You can find this stuff out if you're a woman and you're looking to like get the better physique. That's just what I have been doing. The other thing is the weight loss traps, the up and down stuff. So like, without naming names, I had a really hard time a lot in my life with the point system. You all know what I'm talking about. I am not saying it doesn't work. I am not saying you shouldn't do it. I am simply saying for me, it was a nightmare. I was constantly thinking about food. All I felt like was I was inundated with emails about recipes, and I'm talking, if I was doing it at work with coworkers, we're talking about what food we can eat or the best dessert we can get for the least amount of points. All I did was think about food all day. And when I was in that overweight state, I already had a food addiction. I was already trying to like, eat food into my body to numb out other emotions. So that was like the last thing that I needed, was to be thinking about food all day. And then I would track my food as I went on. At the end of the day, I'd have no points left, and I would be like gnawing on my arm, just like going crazy. It just doesn't work for me. I'm not saying don't do it. If it's working for you, do it. But look at what's happening. Are you losing weight on this program and then gaining it right back when you're done because it's like a deprivation thing? Be careful of that. It's all I want to say is they are multi-million, probably billion-dollar companies. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They're getting you involved in this way of life that you really almost can't escape from. Like you think you keep having to join. Again, if it works for you, please continue with it, because I know that it works for some people. I'm just telling you, if you have the mindset that I did, it may not, and you may want to explore other things like cutting things out on your own, starting out slow, starting out making one change at a time. Last fall, when I decided like, okay, I'm doing this, my change I didn't even start tracking my food again. I didn't even, I didn't join any like program or anything like that. I just thought, I'm not going to eat crackers and tortillas and rice for the most part. Of course, there's cheat days and stuff like that, but those were the things I was going to cut out, and cereal. I would just mainly try to focus on like meat, vegetables, fruit. And then as time went on and I saw progress, I wanted to get a little more serious. It's inspiring. So I started cutting out carbs, and I went to a low carb diet, which is what I do now, because that's always worked for me. Just be leery of those kinds of programs. Another one that I want to talk about was not tracking. And I went for a long time, like I said last fall when I started, I was not tracking my food. And I've gone through some different mental states with the tracking of the food. I have been in a love-hate relationship with it before, because I felt like I said it was making me think about food all the time. So I have a system now, and I am tracking my food because I want to see if I don't lose weight. I want to be able to look and see why. And if you feel like tracking your food is actually hindering you, don't do it. Do something else. Focus on the other steps that you're working on, because I've been there, and I know that there was a time in my life where tracking my food was not mentally good for me. Now I am okay to track my food. I track my food at night typically, or right first thing in the morning, so that I know basically what I can eat during the day. And if I need to adjust it, or if a surprise lunch comes up that I wasn't expecting, with a friend or something like that, like I will adjust for that. But for the most part, I know what I can eat, and it's stuff that I have in the house, like, because I did it the night before, and I don't have to go buy anything. I don't have to get anything special. Tracking your food is really important. MyFitnessPal is a great app to do it. If you want to friend me on there, you're more than welcome. It's Emily42897. After having weight loss surgery, it's very important to be tracking and getting your water intake correctly and your protein intake. It's very eye-opening too. Like, there's been times where I've eaten some things during the day, and then I'll track it at night or track it the next day, and going like, I thought I ate way less calories than I did. The last thing I wanted to say was, do not get into the trap of buying like weight loss products. Please. These companies are targeting us. They are targeting us to lose weight. So fat-free, low-fat, no-fat, sugar-free, all this stuff. I'm not saying I don't use any of it. I fell into this trap this week with the weight loss stuff. So I bought these bars that were like 2 net carbs, and they're like these caramel cashew, like they're like a candy bar, and they actually taste like a candy bar. I ate 2 of these bars because I had the count for the day, and I thought, well, I'm really craving this bar. If I didn't have it in my house, I wouldn't even care about eating it. I would rather have like a piece of dark chocolate that even has a few more carbs, but it's like satisfying and rich to me and not full of like junk and chemicals. So I did this very week. I fell into that diet like trap of like processed crappy foods, you guys. And I try to eat clean, and I fell for it. I think there's a big misconception about fat out there. Like I've talked about this before in other videos, the no fat dairy. You want fat. You want to be able to be satiated. If you are going to be hungry all day long because you're eating no fat, that's miserable. You have to get to a point where you feel like satisfied, at least, you know, just to that point of feeling satisfied is where you should be looking to hit. Because what they do when they take the fat out of that stuff is they put sugars in it. If you are looking at carbs or sugars, you're gonna see like the carb count on the no fat stuff go way up. They are a billions of dollar industry a year, the diet and weight loss industry, guys. And there's a reason for that. It's because we're falling for these things, and you don't have to fall for these things. You can be empowered and do things on your own and research your own things. Just some thoughts for you. I've made all these mistakes. I have done every one of these things at one point in my life, and I feel your pain. I'm with you. And just remember, guys, that you are beautiful no matter what size you are, no matter what weight you are, especially if you're trying to make yourself a better person. Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit for all these little weight loss things, for all these little accomplishments that you have. Just don't forget about that. Come follow me on Instagram, Emily42897. I'm also on Twitter. I don't tweet a lot, I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to try to do better. Emily42897. And then Snapchat is Red42897. Would love to see your faces there. Guys, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.